La República Dominicana. Country filled with people that have nothing but love for the place they call home. Dominicans are some of the most unique and cultured people you'll find. However, a people is also represented by their flag, and vice versa. In the Dominican flag, you'll find the colors of red, blue, and white, primarily. In order, these colors represent valor, perseverance, and purity. Something that makes the flag just as unique as its people would be the fact that it's the only flag in existence to have a Bible in it. And it very much represents the fact that Christianity is extremely common in the Dominican Republic. Tying that religious choice to include the Bible in our flag to our history, it is clear that Dominicans are very religious for some reason. This is because of our colonizers, as the Dominican people were significantly influenced in forming our culture throughout our history by other sources. For example, our extreme love and dedication to religion came from the influence of both the people of Spain who colonized us and the Taínos' worship of spirits. Most, if not all, of our dancing and music were heavily inspired and influenced by the multitude of African dance rhythms. However, that aside, we move on to arguably the most important topic of the Dominican Republic culture, their food. Having so many influences early on for everything, including cuisine, alongside having some of the most fertile soil in the world, sitting firmly in the top 10s for countries with the most fertile soil, the Dominican Republic had plenty of opportunities to develop this matter of cuisine. And trust me when I tell you, they did. Dominican cuisine consists of a very diverse palette filled with dishes that burst with flavor and creativity. Each dish not only represents the three major cultures that came together to influence its creation, but also how those flavors were fine-tuned and developed over time. One of the most iconic and popular foods we have is sancocho, which is a soup filled with healthy ingredients like vegetables and meats that are great for you when you get a cold. This is helpful in tropical places that get a lot of rain like the Dominican Republic, for it is comforting to eat some nice warm sancocho on a rainy cold afternoon. We also have ceviche. Though ceviche runs far and wide in Latino cultures, it has been loved by Dominicans for centuries since we love using citrus like lime in our cooking, and of course we have plenty of seafood. Putting those two things together to get ceviche was a big hit when first introduced to Dominicans. We also can't forget about every Dominican mom's favorite food, at least my mom's. Guineitos con cebolla roja. Taking an unripe green banana and boiling it, then topping it with some pickled red onions creates this meal. Simple, and yet it balances perfectly with eggs and meats. This flavor is unique and it's a rare sight to see a Dominican that hasn't had this before. On to the world of music and dance. The instruments in Dominican music originated primarily with percussion. The fixation and appeal to tamboras, maracas, quira, claves, and accordions can once again be tied back to, you guessed it, the Europeans, Africans, and even the Taínos. Nowadays, mainly, this music has grown more sophisticated and introduced a variety of new instruments. However, no matter how much is added, this music will always be Dominican as long as it keeps those percussion instruments. Why, you may ask? Well, that's because we didn't just pick up the music, but added dance to it. Dance following a count that revolves completely around the beat of these drums and maracas and claves. These counts and instruments differentiate these songs from those of bachata, merengue, salsa, you name it. And although many styles of dance, such as salsa, are still loved and appreciated by the Dominican Republic, none are beloved like bachata and merengue, due to merengue being largely recognized as part of the Dominican's national identity, being its national dance. While bachata was actually born in the Dominican Republic during the 60s, inspired by a few dances such as merengue. Nonetheless, after hearing all of this, if you'll have a look around the room after this video is over, and you remember some things you may have already seen, you'll notice everything we have just gone over is present here. From traditional Dominican instruments, to the food, the dances, the music, and even the decorations. It should be apparent now that the theme of this quinceañero is the Dominican Republic. More specifically, a vacation in the tropic that is the Dominican Republic. So please enjoy your vacation in paradise, even if just for the night. Have some fun, dance, let loose, and eat some damn good food.